The way I see it, med spas popping up everywhere. I'm a little bit concerned of the future. Mm-hmm. I feel like sometimes if that continues, I think in 10 years, med spa is going to be just like hair salons. It's going to pop up everywhere.
Welcome to the Beauty Talk podcast, where we feature how the best medical practitioners help their patients to look better, younger, and healthier. Now, enjoy the show, and here's your host.
Daniel Gao here. I'm the host of Beauty Talk, where we feature the top medical practitioners in health and beauty, both inside and out. I have Leilan Singh here of HL Med Spa. She is the CEO of the practice, which provides wellness services along with medical spa services. She likes to bring the beauty outside in and health from inside out. So welcome, Leilan. Glad to have you here.
Hi, I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah, so Leilan, so I'm curious, how did you first get started and interested in aesthetics?
Well, I came from a hair salon background, and I done it for 20 years. And inside of the hair salon, I always have like a part that was dedicated for spa, facials, pedicure, manicure, massage. And as long as the years evolved my idea, and it was at one point in my career that I started working with lasers. I done like a laser courses, and I started working with lasers. And then a few years later, because we are in the state of New Jersey, the laws changed. And then I belong to a category of a health department, regulated by the state, and I should be in a med spa. So that's how everything starts.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm curious, can you talk about some of the most popular treatments that your patients come to you for, and also why are they so popular?
Because I came from the hair salon background, and having with us the clientele base coming from there, the laser hair removal, that's what used to move our practice, right? Mm-hmm. So when we started business, we already have like 1,700 patients in our facility, like basically physically there. And afterwards, we're like, okay, now we're in the health department, what else can we do? And we start seeing like the necessity of people with something else. And because we provide the services for so long and people trusted us, that was easy to do it. Like that was easy to make the transition. Incorporate ND in our practice, incorporate like nurse injectors, services like IV infusion for vitamin replacement, hormone replacement. It was beautiful to see her. We are very well known at this moment for our weight loss program. It's working magically. And I believe the community trusts us because we have a very good reputation in the field.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Now, I'm starting to see more and more with medical spas, they're bringing in other types of medicine into their practice. So like in your particular case, you have the wellness side as well. So I'm just curious, how did you end up deciding to bring the wellness side into your practice?
Because like past of the years, it's like after studying, having a group of the health department around us, we kind of figured it out. Like sometimes if you put just a cream in your face and you're not eating well, that cream is not going to work. So we also have a nutritionist on board, which she does an amazing job. Like I'm very, very proud of my team. I think like everybody has like the right card to play the right game. And I think the way the person feels, it reflects a lot the way the person looks like. And it's a conjunction, right? If you feel good, you're gonna look good. And if you look good, you want to feel good, right? You don't want to just like go into some services or go into a gym and feeling exhausted, or go into a Botox place and freeze your whole muscles in your face. And then by then you feel like, tired or anything like that. So that was like evolved to us as long as the years, and we see the necessity of that to bring like, what else can we do for this patient? What else can we motivate them and change people's life? I think it's the most important thing, like change it for better. Like I think after COVID, everybody got so emotionally driven by what it makes me feel healthy. What else can I do for myself? What else can I do for my life? What else can I do for my health? And it's big now. It's big. Like I think people are very, very enthusiastic about their health. And physically, if your health is good, if you exercise, you drinking enough water, you eating right, you're gonna reflect physically. And I think when they come to a med spa, for example, sometimes we're doing a service on them And from that moment, they start looking at their faces like a little bit more. They start seeing stuff that they never saw it before. And then, or they look different the way their body looks like. But that's all about the way they feel. I think it's very magic the way things works in a health department. When you bring the med spa and a health together, it's like, oh my God, we can make magic in here. Because, you know, it's a lot that we can do in our field.
Okay, so it sounds like your journey was just about always trying to find better and better solutions for your patients. Then you just kind of evolved into this holistic type of model where it's not just the beauty side, but the health side, because they're so closely interrelated. Does that sound right?
Yes, that's very important for us, the way the patient will feel. The way the patient will feel, it's like a very, very, very important.
Got it. Now, are there any new or emerging treatments that you're seeing that you're particularly excited about?
Weight loss program. Our weight loss program, it's killing. It's like, you know, seeing the motivation in people's faces, seeing the results, and see how we can change it. Like regularly, in daily basis, they send it to us results of the blood test. Like before, when they come, they have all these issues, right? Even like high cholesterol, high triglycerides. They're like, the sugar is all the way up. And then after they start losing weight, they start doing all the protocols that we put them into it. Everything goes back to normal. It's like, you know, 3-month challenge, and it's transformation in the way you look at the person. And sometimes I see men that they have like the cap off. And then sometimes I see women that come in with the highlights now. And the skin is a little bit more showing in their clothing. So it's nice. It's nice to see it, the change in that we are making in their lives.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's amazing. Now, I want you to talk a little bit more about what differentiates your practice from other types of practices. We talked a little bit about how you're bringing the wellness side, you're bringing a little bit more of that holistic side to it. But what other things would you say really sets your practice apart from your competition?
I think we are always so responsible in what we bring in, right? So I think protocols differs us from everybody else in the marketing. And an aesthetic part, I create the protocols and I train my staff. I train the estheticians, I train the laser technicians. And the medical part, we have a doctor that does all that part, like training. And nobody comes over here overnight and start working on their floor. Like they have to go to a shadow for 6 months at least. And then we prepare that person before they go to the floor. We have our license in places. We have the best vendors in the marketing. We don't work with a product that is like old or validated on the shelf. I think it's important. Like we see a lot of cases, people walking through the door for us to fix something that, you know, some irregular person done it, or some services that was a random service that was done by somebody that they don't have like the right license to do it. And it's awful. Like, I think it is awful sometimes when you see it, right? It's very dangerous too. I think it's very dangerous. So we are always very careful, and we do everything by the law.
I think that was one thing we were talking a little bit before, that you mentioned that you're getting people coming in almost on a daily basis that has gone to someone who maybe didn't have the right license and have the right experience, and they messed it up. And they come to you and you're the one who fixes it for them. I think it's just incredible. But I mean, I guess that's also a testament to your experience as well, that when someone else makes a mistake, you're the one who can fix it. So I think that's just amazing that you have the experience to be able to not only take someone that's just normal and make them look better, but take someone else's mistake and make them look better, which I think is tremendously harder.
Unfortunately, it became part of our business. It's like it's on a daily basis. We receive phone calls, we receive walk-ins, we receive emails, pictures, all kinds of forms of people asking for help, you know, to be helping by some mistake that somebody else done it on them. Yeah. It's like, you know, and we are able to help. I think like at the end of the day that we are able to help that patient. That's what makes me like, you know, okay, we are going to the right direction and we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, I'm sure that when you get some of these people that either they had this mistake done to them, or some people that are coming in and maybe they just came in more for the aesthetic side. I know that sometimes the holistic, when you start talking about the holistic point of view, they maybe get a little bit confused. So how do you approach educating your patients about these services and how to make it all work to their benefit?
Yes, so I create something here as a rule, right? So when somebody comes, no matter if it's upper laser, lip, hair removal, every new patient, when they come, they have an opportunity to go to a complimentary physical with our doctor. So, and then they know that we have a doctor in the staff and she's here full time. They also have a complimentary cycle body scan. So our body scan is gonna detect if you're overweight, if you're not overweight. They also get a complimentary pictures from the hair, from the scalp of the hair to check the health of the scalp. And they also have a free consultation with a beauty consultant that we have a few working on the floor to go over like the skin routine, what kind of cosmetic they use, and if it's medical grade, if it's not a medical grade, we try to educate them a little bit about that. So I think when somebody first come in, they have no idea sometimes who we are, but I think after the first introduction, they figure and they're like, oh my God, yeah, you guys do that too. And to be honest with you, I say 60 to 70% of the time we convert that patient to do something else with us.
Oh, wow. That's an incredibly high number. I guess it's also a testament to how your team kind of guides them through, hey, you need this, this, and this for your health. You can't just fix one thing.
Yeah, our retention number is 78%.
Wow. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Now, I'm sure that you get some people that come in and they don't quite understand a lot of these services come in. So could you explain a little bit more how the holistic treatment differs from like your typical medical spa or your typical wellness clinic?
Okay. So that is regular medicine, right? Like every doctor does. What we do, we don't try to make sure that you are normal. We are trying to make sure that you are in perfect condition of your blood test. Like we want to make sure we maximize your potential of health, of sleep, of energy levels. And that's when the doctor comes in and she's going to try to work with you, checking your hormones, checking your vitamins. That's why we offer vitamin replaces by the IV. I don't know if you know, but when we take it a pill, our body absorbs only 40% of that pill offers for us. When you're taking in a muscle shots of vitamin, our body absorbs 70%. But when you're taking the intravenous, it's 99% absorption. So we offer that here to make sure we regulate people's vitamin levels. And sometimes people are normal, but it's so stressful. 98% of United States have a deficit in vitamin D. This is like a very high. You know, how can we help them? You know, there is a shot that the majority of the people, they don't know that it's just a simple shot that you can inject in your muscle once a month and you're good to go. So we just try to like educate them all the time, educate them. We educate our team to always transfer that message to them as well. Our front desk is highly trained on that too. Like if you call, they're gonna be able to talk to you about all these topics. We even have people that answers the phone from home. Like we have people that we have a calling center. So we have people that works for us everywhere, like answering questions because people want to know. People are curious these days.
Yeah. And I'm sure you also get a lot of misconceptions about the types of treatments that you provide. So what are some of those common misconceptions that you and your team would see and when people call and ask for your services?
I think sometimes they're looking more for like, I'm not saying mental health, but maybe a therapist. You know, some people, they need a therapy, but sometimes we have those that walk through it, but we are very well trained to recognize, you know, and just move on for the case and tell them like, this is not a place for you. Or sometimes people are looking for some answers that they didn't even know what they're looking for. And we're the experts, right? We're the one, sometimes, to be honest with you, somebody come because they don't like their lips, for example. But you see hyperpigmentation, you see aging, you see so many other things going on. We see like that they need like a weight loss, and then you educate them, you talk to them, you know, like, listen, we can do so much more than just your lips, right? And or sometimes you have those patients too that they want to do a face transformation, but they wanted to pay for one syringe, and we have all kinds of situations in here, but we are happy doing what we do.
Okay, got it. Now, I also would like you to talk a little bit more about how you're able to balance providing that high-end, relaxing experience for your patients, but also at the same time ensuring their safety and well-being during the treatment process. So how do you strike that balance?
When we create a plan for somebody, like usually our protocols for chronic conditions, for example, as melasma, is just like a 6 month treatment, right? We usually have 3 to 6 months protocols in here. We monitor by the computer. We monitor how every time they come, we have that talk, everybody's on the same page. It's a protocol that needs to be going through it. So that patient always gonna have the contact with one of the employees in here. Either if it's the nurse, the esthetician, the doctor, we are available for them the whole period of the time of the 6 months. They go through appointments that we set up, but if we see that we need to adjust anything, we adjusted anything. We work a lot like base-to-base one-on-one person, like patient and us. So we don't have any problems with that. Like we're always able to like adjust it if we need to adjust it. And we have, I think like we became very well known for before and after pictures. Sometimes, our before and after pictures is just so amazing.
Yeah.
And I just told, I was in a meeting early with a marketing company. I say, I think we need to change because everybody comes over here. They have this this thing in mind, they're gonna look like that person too. And sometimes it's not like that, but yeah.
Okay, I completely understand. Now, when it comes to the holistic side, particularly, it's different from your traditional med spa. So what would you say, what role does creativity play in the approach that you have for your patient care, the patient treatment?
I think the nutritionist, it's like something very important that we offer here. Changing people's behaviors is difficult. And I think once we break through it, right? It's like break through culture, break it through it behaviors. It's something that's like, it's magical. And for somehow, I think people like us. We're very likable.
Yeah.
And we are psychology, like we are very good with people. And I think like we give them confidence. They know that we work based on data. Like whatever data is, like if you're our patient in here, whatever data that your blood work show us, that's what our baseline to work with you. So we're gonna do everything in turn of that to change the scenario or to keep the scenario, right? And I think that we work with confidence and we work very responsibly. And I think monitor, it's one of the main things that we do here. We monitor very well what we're doing. And yeah, I think it's the difference because I see a lot of complaints again from patients, right? Because sometimes we are so inside of our projects, to be honest with you. I don't put a lot of attention when people doing it. I like the facilities, other projects that I have in mind, like they're all my friends. Like I'm friends with a whole bunch of doctors and I don't think nobody's really doing like something wrong. I just think we really put the human one-on-one attention to a patient. And a lot of the complaints when they come into us, it's like, okay, I went to this place, I bought it, but after I bought it, this package or this precision, I don't see the doctor anymore. I don't see they're gone, or I don't see, I felt like I was left over. I felt like, they don't care. Yeah. And we don't make people feel like that.
Okay. Now you brought that point as far as like some of these people, some of your patients have these challenging cases, but I'd like to know if you can share some stories. What are some patient stories that really stand out in your mind where someone came to you with like just major issue, they couldn't get it done anywhere else or couldn't get it fixed anywhere else, and then you were able to get them just an amazing result?
Okay, so we work with prevention. We also work with a lot of equipments that stimulate collagen and elastin. We work with energy-based devices from lasers to like radio frequency. A few cases, but I can come like one on top of my mind that it was a woman that came in and half of her face was paralyzed by a Botox that she done in somebody's face. And yeah. And I was like, I looked at the woman is talking, only one side of her mouth is moving. And I'm like, oh my God, like how, and she's like, oh, I came here because I know you guys can fix it. We know the Botox, we have to wait, right? But because we have those kinds of technology and devices, I say, okay, we're gonna work in a therapy with you, but you have to come here 3 times a week and give us at least 3 weeks so we can fix that. And she, in 1 month, her muscles was back to normal, almost like clear, like in 1 month. She didn't have to wait the whole 3 months for the Botox to go away, but 1 month we created, emotionally for her was a big thing. She's like, oh my God, in 2 weeks, I remember seeing her in 2 weeks, like, oh my God, I feel so much better. I don't have to wear the mask anymore to hide my face. And they had like, I'm feeling better. And like, I remember it was a 3 weeks point. We're like, okay, we're going to set up a picture and video next week for you, because I think you're good to go. Okay. It was intense, but we get it done.
Yeah, no, that's an amazing story, because I mean, it's just crazy the stories or the cases that happen to patients out there, and it's like, what do they do now? Like, they're completely stuck. So I think that's a fantastic story you just told. Now, I'm curious, Leilan, where do you think the future of aesthetics is going?
It's a very challenged question, because the way I see it, med spas popping up everywhere, I'm a little bit concerned of the future. I feel like sometimes if that continues, I think in 10 years, med spa is going to be just like hair salons. It's going to pop up everywhere. But on the other hand, you know, the margin in the United States of med spas that open and close is very high. 65% of the med spas that open in the United States close. Why? Because they're not capable to do what they're doing. And I think like whoever is doing the right thing, whoever is like, you know, capable to offer the services with excellence, they will be okay. They will continue in a path to like continue helping people, continue like, you know, transforming people's life, making the woman prettier, making the man more handsome. Yeah. I don't think nobody's gonna stop doing any aesthetic precision anytime soon. I think like after COVID, after Zoom meetings everywhere, people are looking to their faces. People are looking the way they look like. People want to feel better. And it's something that is not gonna change. I think like it's a breakthrough. It was before COVID, right? But I think COVID was a crucial moment that it changed the story of aesthetics in the United States, and I believe in the world. And I don't think it's going to stop. I think it's just going to fly in, you know.
Yeah, people always want to look good, right? That's never going to go away.
Yes. I always say the aesthetic business and the food business are very safe somehow.
Yeah, it's never going to go away, no matter what.
Yes.
So, Leilan, I have one last question for you, but before I ask it, I want to point people to your website at hlmedspa.com. Now, the last question is, what would be the most important piece of advice you can give to someone who's maybe on the fence about getting some type of aesthetic procedure done? Maybe they've never done it before, but something's holding them back. What would be the most important piece of advice you can give someone who's in that situation?
I think they should check the people's background. They should check who are they going to. If that person or that place have the license in place, you know, like what kind of product they use, who is their vendors, what kind of machinery they use. That is something like FDA approved. That is something that is not, it has the lot expired or something. Like those things matters. Those things matters in aesthetics, you know, like when you play with your face, you also play with muscles, you also play with nerves, you also play with veins. So you have to think, you have to be careful. Yeah, you have to be concerned when you're going to do something. So it's very safe for well-trained and licensed people that, you know, study years of their life to do what they're doing. You know, it's not something from day to night. So just make sure you check, make sure, you know, it's a clean place, it's a well environment for you to give your body, yourself to it.
Okay, well, there you have it. Leilan sharing her expertise. Now, Leilan, where can people contact you in your practice?
Okay, they can contact us for hlmedspa.com. So when you pop into our website, they have all our information there. We are very popular in Instagram page, which is HL Med Spa Official. Yeah, you can DM us from there. We have like a whole group that can answer you from there.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again for being on the show and sharing your message with the world.
Thank you very much. It was nice to be here.
Thanks for listening to the Beauty Talk podcast. Any questions, please contact the practice directly with the contact information provided during the show. We'll see you again next time. Bye for now.